Okay, so I'm going to do a talk through and a drive of a full driving test route around Clacton on Sea. Basically give myself a driving test and show you how to pass a driving test. So, Clacton on Sea, you start on the road, which I'm on at the minute. They'll ask you a tell me question before, and they'll get you to read your number plate, walk to the car, ask you to tell me a question. They'll do the number plate on the way. You won't get to the car if you can't read the number plate. So we're in position to start off. So move off when you're ready. Into gear. Checking around. I can see there's cars coming. It can sometimes take quite a while to pull away from it, depending on the traffic. I've got a road directly next to me on the right, so I'm going to pull away. That's it. And next left. A bit like giving myself the direction, but you get the picture. So I made sure I stayed in the lane as I came around there, and I'm going to take the next left. So people run over the white line there, you're going to fail. There's no reason to be running over the white line. Coming up to the junction, checking both ways, really straightforward. Should be doing it every time you pull out of the junction. And then at the end of the road, I'm going to go left. So I'm checking my mirrors again. Signal. Looking for people coming up to the junction. Sometimes people come across this quite quick. Get myself all the way to the end because you can't see anything until you get to the end here. So there's no point trying to have a look through a solid hedge because you simply won't be able to see anything. So massive queue of traffic. Keep checking both ways because I want to know what's going on. And this is how long it can take. So remember, when you're on your test, this is why you have to have a reasonable amount of leeway in time, because I could come up to this junction, drive straight out, or I could be stuck here for 5 minutes. It could be the same for every other junction as well. So after this van, I've actually got space. There we go. And straight into the traffic. So at the roundabout, I'm going to turn right, second exit to the right. This person's trying to pull out. I'm not specifically trying to give them room. But I gave them the opportunity and didn't take it. So keep an eye on your mirrors, across the zebra crossing, and then I'm going to turn right on the zebra crossing, as I already mentioned. So check my mirrors, signal, and just watching what's happening. Keep an eye on the mirrors here, so I've got a nice little gap. Swap to a left signal. Looking out for the zebra crossing, they're pulling out and driving almost into the side of me. And check my mirrors again, bring the car out. So when you're going past parked cars, the white line is irrelevant, assuming that the gap is what you need. So check my mirrors, put the signal because I'm turning right. The car trying to pull out, I need to pull across the front of them. They're going to drive at me. And then wait for a gap. They're flashing. Yeah, thank you. Need to make sure they were actually letting me out and not doing what flashing is actually for, which is to warn me of their presence. But you have to take a common sense approach. So end of the road left. So going through this bit about 20 miles an hour, keeping an eye on the cars in case one comes out. Check my mirrors, left signal. As we come to the end, bring it all the way up. Can see across the board a little bit, but not very easily. So it's clear in that direction. This direction, you need to make sure nothing that's coming towards you is actually taking up the middle point in the road so you can't pull out. Fairly clear, so I give myself some space to the curb. Got this Honda coming, so just glance at my mirror and moving across a little bit and slowing down because I'm going to have to tighten up a little bit here because this road is very tight. That's why they like to bring you down roads like this. And keep an eye on all the junctions. Parked cars. There's a lot of garages along here that reverse out and stuff, so keep an eye on that as well. Van's not giving me a massive amount of space. And now we've got some parked cars, so I'm checking my mirrors, make sure there's no motorbikes or whatever trying to get past me. And then just squeeze it past. Check something coming from there. I've got a van coming towards me, so again I'm giving it a little bit of space. And at the roundabout, I'll take the second exit straight across. So checking my mirrors, slowing down. Now this roundabout's going straight across, you need the right lane because it's a marked lane. Keep an eye on people on roundabouts because they often don't signal. And we're good. Check the mirrors, left signal, so I'm coming off on here, into the queue of traffic, and then on the next roundabout it's going to be right. So leave a reasonable gap to the car in front. So the answer of how much of a gap is enough space to be able to drive out forwards. It really is as simple as that. Sometimes you hear tyres and tarmac, but in a modern car that is a long way back, to be honest. So right on the roundabout, if you can drive out forwards, that is what you need. That's what the highway code says. So checking both ways, they've pulled out, the car there's waiting for me, but I need to make sure I can't see anything. Yep, it's clear for me. Just run my wheels across that edge of the roundabout, and then left on the next roundabout. So again, check my mirrors. And yeah, they're all good. There's a van coming who's coming this way, but he's a long way from the roundabout. So as we go up, you can see on the left there's a sign that says there's a mini roundabout, and you've got a big queue of traffic because there's roadworks. So you can see here I've stopped. There's enough room to drive out forwards if I needed to. I'm not putting the handbrake on because it's a parking brake, so you use it when you park, not when you're in a queue of traffic. What you do need to do is keep the car secure. So we've got the roadworks coming up. Now I can see that car's waiting on the left. I'm going to straight line this roundabout and then check my mirrors and bringing it out, because there's no need to slow right down for that roundabout because there's roadworks directly in front of it. There's nothing coming. I'm on a green light and the car to the left is waiting. So again, you use a common sense approach to driving, and you do what you would do in normal driving, and you'd be expected to do it on the driving test, because the driving test should represent what you are going to do when you actually drive on the road, not some fake version of that. So I'm going to carry on up. Car in front's pulling away from me. You've got to be careful, because on a test obviously you're expected to keep to the speed limit, but if you just follow the traffic, then it's quite difficult to sometimes realise that you're going over the limit because you're just following a whole queue of traffic. So make sure you are actually watching your speedometer. So we're going straight across the next little mini roundabout. Checking my mirrors, slowing down. So this time there's no roadworks that allows me to drive straight across. So I'm going to the left, run my wheel across the edge, and then carry on. Then I'm going to take the next left. Clear as I come round. Car, checking my mirrors. Glance to come back in, slowing down from the bend. You can see more parked cars, so they often like little roads like this. And then they often say, can you find somewhere to pull up on the left for me, please? So I'll ask myself that. So I'm not going to stop here. There's junctions, parked cars. So you look along the road, find somewhere that's safe, legal, convenient. Checking my mirrors, I'm going to stop about there. It's a nice place to stop. There's no drop curb there, it's absolutely fine. And then when you do stop, handbrake on just to show you stopped. And then they go, okay, move off when you're ready. So, pop the car to gear, do my observations, and just tap the signal on in case he wants to come across. I don't think he does. Off, coming into some parked cars. Again, I'm just glancing my mirrors, making sure there's nothing coming. It's what you should be doing the whole time, not just for a driving test. This is how you drive a car. Checking my mirrors again to pull back in. You've got to recognise there's a tight bend coming up, so you slow down enough to be able to see through the bend. Which can't see any parked cars. You can't see if someone's crossing the road either, which is a problem. So, we're going to take the next road on the right. This one's tricky because there's parked cars all around it, and look into the road, make sure it's clear, turn into the correct side of it. Then there's a parked car in the way, just check my mirrors, make sure no one's coming behind. Now there's a pigeon in the road. I'm going to use my horn, moved him a little bit. I'm going to turn left at the end of the road, there's nothing, and there is. Grey Mazda, they're not indicating stopping. Nothing after that. Check my exit route is clear. Pull out. So I gave the pigeon a little toot to move it out of the way. That's what your horn's for. You don't really want to hit a pigeon. You don't want to hit any animal. I mean, unless you particularly want to ram an animal, they're going to do damage to your car at the very least. So I much prefer not to kill something while I'm driving around. So you're going to carry on following the road. Sat at the speed limit. Keep an eye on the mirrors, make sure nothing's coming up behind. Could be a fast moving car, could be a motorbike. Glance on the mirrors now, because there is a car who's indicating and reversing at the same time, indicating right to pull off and reversing at the same time. So now you've got a few cars on the left, they're sort of mostly off the road. Still going to check my mirrors, just going to slow it down a touch. Give them a bit of space. And I'm going to go right into the road. Put it out nice and straight, get myself in position. Can't see anything until now because there's a parked van on that side of me. Nothing coming. I'm going to bring it out. And then I'm going to go second exit straight across. So that requires me to be in the left lane. The approach I'm watching, this van's coming round. A couple of other cars, that van's stopping them, so there's a nice blocker. I'm going to hold my position on the roundabout, check my mirrors, left signal. Still in a 30 here, so there's no change of speed limit signs. We've still got street lights. This used to be a 60 from the roundabout, but it isn't anymore because of all the house building that's taking place. So this section is a 30. Then we're coming up to a roundabout. Now I'm going to go first exit, which is offset to the left. Make sure there's nothing coming. Now the problem with this is that this road is completely disintegrated. It's not even potholes. I mean, so I'm having to go quite slow to get through. Check my mirrors and carry on. So if you do come across something like that piece of road there, as I say, it's just completely chewed up. It's in a complete state. You need to go slow through, but obviously you need to go slow and check your mirrors. So we are now into a 60 limit. Now we're going to go left at the end of the road. Again, can't see anything until I get to the end, so there's no point trying to slow down to have a little look when you can't see anything. Right, every single car is turning that way. We've got traffic lights. Mirrors, you never know, somebody could try and overtake you through the traffic lights. They can and do overtake you. As you can see, the road ahead is closed. This is the route anyway. Keeping an eye on it. So we're still in 60 limits, but I'm not going to go 60 through this. Keep an eye on the mirrors, make sure no one's there. Pick the pace up a little bit. So because it's quite overgrown, it's summer, it's more difficult to go faster on this road. So I'm at about 45 in a minute and I'm just slowing down for the bend because there could be somebody walking, there could be somebody cycling. The car in front gives me an indication of what's happening because if they touch their brake pedal, then clearly they've spotted something, so I'm just keeping them in sight. Look out for anything coming the other way that's on the wrong side of the road as well, because on a bend like this you might get somebody walking or cycling on the other side of the road and a car coming in the other direction then cuts onto your side of the road to go round them, which can be incredibly dangerous. So we're keeping a good gap to the car in front, a reasonable gap. And I can only keep up with him because obviously there's certainly no overtaking on this road, there's nowhere to overtake. And we're currently only doing 38 miles an hour. So you can see across this part of the road here, through the bend, nice and easy. And then we come up to a change of speed limit, which is national speed limit's down to a 40, but we are currently doing 40. If you were doing 60, you check your mirrors, you'd ease off. When you get to this point, you need to be doing 40 as you go through the sign, not sometime after. Now we're coming up to the end of the road. I'm going to take a left. So, check my mirrors, put my signal on. Again, you can't see anything at the end of this road, so you've got to make sure you get all the way down. Yeah, now I can see, check both directions. And pull it out. So I'm still in a 40. And any second now we're going to go into the 30. So when we get to the 30 limit, as I previously mentioned, checking your mirrors, slowing it down, and I'm at 30. Checking the mirrors. So this is one of the places they do a pull up on the right. I won't do it at the minute. Got police doing speed checks currently. Checking the mirrors. So, when people give you a thank you, you can take your hand off the wheel to say thank you back. I know there is some idea of not being able to drive with one hand, but it's not true. Checking my mirror, slowing down, and he wants to pull up in the shop, but needs to move on a bit, otherwise I can't get through the gap. And then we're going left at the end of the road. So you can see the sign there. London, Colchester. Check my rear signal on. Now often you can just pull straight out of this junction. So yeah, nothing coming. But there are cars, but they're a long way back. So you certainly wouldn't be stopping for them, because that would be undue hesitation. So we're still in a 30 and cruising along with 30. Again, they might ask you to put up on the left in places like this. Quite often do. But I'm not going to pull up on the left. It's fairly straightforward. Keep things moving. So, see the car in front was just braking a little bit there. Check my mirrors, start to slow it down. Try and time it if you can. So you've got a couple of cars coming towards us. You can fly up to the back of this lorry, then stop. I'm not going to. Check my mirrors and go round. Check mirrors again, make sure the lorry's not going to open the door or pull off. Because people will pull off just as you're going past them. Check mirrors again, they can pull off. And then we carry on down the road. So I'm going to ask myself now a tell me question, a show me question even, not a tell me question. So when it's safe to do so, can you show me how you would use the front windscreen wash and wipers in this vehicle to clear the front windscreen? So when it's safe to do so, I'm not going to do it just at the minute because we're just coming into a bend, parked cars, road closed, diversion. So I'll get through this. As you can see, it's a blind bend. You wouldn't really want to have your windscreen wipers going at that point, in all honesty. If that car suddenly decides to turn across. So we're coming up to a zebra crossing, no one on it, bicycle coming the other way, people going round. Perfectly safe time now, so just use my fingertips to come that towards me. There you go. That was a show me question. So we're going to cruise to the end. When we get to the roundabout, we're going to turn right. So that will be third exit to the right. Again, on the approach, check my mirrors, put my signal on, slowing down. Aim for the right hand lane, I'm turning right. For this car's got a nice blocker, blocking off the traffic from there. Through the roundabout, and check my mirrors, bring it off. Straight into 6 limits, so I'm just getting my foot down a bit. And left on the next roundabout, first exit to the left. So, checking my mirrors, I'm going faster now, signal on. Slowing down. Keep an eye on the roundabout. So this time, unlike a lot of those junctions where you couldn't see anything, you are looking to see if you can keep moving. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to because there's a fair bit of traffic. Checking both ways, need to know my exit route is clear, and it is. They've gone that way. Very late indication, they did actually indicate the end. And then again, straight up speed, if it's clear, straight up to 60. In this instance, we are up to 45, 46 miles an hour. That's as fast as the car in front is going. So, I'm going to sit sort of central on this road. You can see the car in front sitting quite a way to the left. But keep an eye on my mirrors because it's quite a wide road and you do get people overtaking down the centre. If people do that, just move over and let them go past. So, this next roundabout, I'm going to take second exit straight across. Checking my mirrors because I'm lifting off already. Looking at the traffic, keep an eye on my mirrors in case anyone does anything crazy, braking gently, setting the car up, just looking so as the cars come round you can watch them move off. So that car at the front's going to move off, the post office van's going to go, the next one can go as well, the one in front of me, they decided not to, but they probably could have made that, to be honest. No signal on the approach either, so we can make it. Lots of space, check my mirrors, less signal to come off because a roundabout is a circular piece of road. This is a junction. You're indicating left to show that you're coming off on the junction. Again, it's a 6 limit. If it was clear, you'd be expected to get up to a reasonable pace, 50 plus miles an hour at least. As it is, we're stuck in a queue of traffic, maintaining a good gap, and we're currently doing 30 miles an hour. So, I'm going to take the first exit to the left on this roundabout. So as we come up, you can see we're going to a 30 limit. I'm going to aim for the left-hand lane, but I'm not going to put the signal on yet. Now there are no marked lanes just yet, but people use it as 2 lanes. I'm not going over the white line to the left, but I am leaving enough space for people to get past if they want to. See, there's a zebra crossing down here as well. So it's a first exit to the left. And you can see what I was talking about, cars going past. If you sit in the middle of the road here, you're going to block everyone off. So again, it's common sense. Now it goes into 2 lanes, and the road widens up just a bit as well. So now I can put my left signal on because I'm just 2-3 cars from the end, watching the traffic, and yeah, loads of space. So around to the left, making sure my exit road is clear. Park car immediately, so checking my mirrors. I tapped that signal off then, I didn't wait for it to self-cancel. Otherwise I'm coming up to a parked car and going round a parked car with a left-hand signal and I'm going out to the right. So I'm just creeping through this quite slowly because there is enough space, so long as everybody moves around a little bit. And then I'm going to take the next road on the left. Again, we've got lots of parked cars, checking my mirrors, man crossing the road. One of the parked cars has got like some sort of cover on which is blown around in the wind, so I'm getting quite slow. There's a van which has just pulled up, and now I'm going to turn right. Car trying to pull out of the pub. Probably won't get in their way at all. As I say, need to check your mirrors and make sure your exit route is clear. Then I'm going to take the next road on the right. Got a couple of pedestrians. But they're more than far enough away from these girls to turn in before they step into the road. And then I'm going to ask myself to pull up on the left. So they might ask you this, there's a driveway here, but if they need to get something done, like a manoeuvre, they'll just ask you to just put in front of the driveway if necessary. So I'm going to get myself to do a parallel park on this little white Fiat, and I'm going to ignore the driveway. So, whenever you're ready, you can continue. So, just making sure it's clear because there's a lot of vans. Right. So I'm into gear, make sure it's totally clear. I'm going to bring it out next to this car. There we go. I'm going to stop. Pop this into reverse. Just going to check round, look out the back window, and then I'm going to bring it in. Which, of course, as we know, if you've watched any of my other videos, reversing in is exactly the same as driving forwards. There we go. Handbrake on. Job done. So, you know, what was the reverse in? 10 seconds maybe? So people get very hung up on this part of the test, but honestly, if you practice and you know what you're doing, it's a piece of cake. Right, move off when you're ready. Don't think it's necessary to signal, no one around at all. And I carry on through. They do also ask you sometimes just to pull up on the left. So I ask myself to do this, pull up on the left here. And then what they say to you is, can you keep moving forwards, please? They go, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and stop there, please. And then they go, okay, move off when you're ready. So now I'm going to move off. And because this van is quite big, I can't really see around it, I am going to pop a signal on, and basically it's just to check that you can pull around stuff. Now they do this on really busy roads sometimes. Depends where you are. But again, it's not very difficult, as long as you know what you're doing. Checking through this, you can see there's a parked vehicle on the bend, so I'm slowing right down because I actually need to be able to see entirely around the corner before I pull the car onto the wrong side of the road. I'm going to carry on driving straight down the middle here. There's nothing about, so no reason not to. End of the road, I'm going to go left. Starting to slow it down, not going to put my signal on until I'm a bit closer because of the parked cars. I'm going to slow right down for this van in case anyone's walking. Junction, look both ways, nothing coming, and at the roundabout I'm going to take the second exit straight across. So that's left lane, checking my mirrors, bringing it round, and pull it out behind this Peugeot. That's Lotus, trying to squeeze past me. So second exit on this roundabout. Again, you can kind of watch the traffic and see people pull out. Sometimes you sort of, if you're actually watching the traffic, you can see when people should have pulled out and then they don't. So, you know, we're coming towards the end of the test now. And as you can see, there's nothing complicated about it, so long as you actually know what you're doing. If you turn up to a test trying to wing it, well, the problem you've got with that is that the whole point of this is that you're going to be driving afterwards. So even if you do manage to pass, are you actually going to be able to drive a car after you've passed? So let's keep watching. It's really busy. Keep making sure my exit route's clear. Got a lovely gap here. Straight into the left lane. Check my mirrors, left signal, and we're off. Traffic slow, leaving enough space. People often just bunch up in this sort of traffic, so that an inch off the car in front, you need to make sure you've got a decent amount of space. And I'm going to ask myself to pull up on the left. And I'm going to ask myself to move off when I'm ready. Now, you can see that there's a fair bit of traffic, or you might not be able to see, but there is a fair bit of traffic. So I'm just looking in the mirror, waiting. I'm going to check over. There is something coming after that. I'll just put my indicator miles away, but I'll just put it on so that now I'm moving off. So you get a few of those across tests. Pull up on the left, move off when you're ready. And again, there's nothing difficult about it unless you make it complicated. Because you just look for the place you're going to stop. Use the signal if necessary, pull up nice and neat. They'll ask you to move off. Again, move off. If you go into your driving test, all of these things should have been covered many times, and you should be able to do them without any problem at all. If in any way, and I'm going to move to the right lane here, if in any way you aren't able to do any of these things, or you're struggling with them, then you need more practice. It's as simple as that. So when we get into this next part of the one-way system, I'm going to ask myself to move into the left lane, which, because of the way this system works, I'm going to put my left signal on now, because that white camber conversion, or whatever it is at a junction. And then we go left at the bottom. And you see, all the time I'm checking my mirrors, I just need to know what's there. So again, if you're driving by numbers and you're only checking your mirrors because you think you have to check them, then you're not really driving the car properly. Because if you're driving the car properly, you need to check your mirrors so that you know what's there, because you don't want to pull into something. You don't want a bicycle on your left. Are they going to go up to the crossing? No. Okay. So, you know, all these things that you see about you must check your mirrors every 5 seconds or whatever else. You need to check them when you need to check them. And if you're driving a car properly, you know when you need to check them. So I'm checking mine now to slow down for the speed hump. Although of course we better slow down because this person dived out of the car park. But there's a speed bump here. There wasn't much behind me either, so they could have just simply waited. They felt the need to in front of us. Keep an eye on the taxi. There's another speed bump, so we're going to drop off the speed bump here, so I'm keeping it quite slow. And then we're going to go straight across this roundabout. You have to be careful here because it's a keep clear, and people think it's a junction they can just drive straight across, but actually we need to pull up to this part of the road. And we've got a blocker. That one near the zebra crossing. Keep an eye on this car coming out of Oldie. Now we've got a load of parked cars. Checking my mirrors, slowing it down because it gets a bit tight. If anything comes the other way, you can get down this gap, two-way traffic, but sometimes people just take up the whole middle point of the road and then you can't actually drive down it. Again, checking my mirrors, I'm going around a parked car. Now we've got somebody on the roundabout who's not taking any of the roundabout, just turning straight across at about 1 mile an hour. Nothing else coming. Again, checking my mirrors because a bicycle or something might try and get past me. Now we've got this bicycle, not really sure what they're doing. We've got a red light in front, so I'm going to slow down. He's just going to stop there, fair enough. And we're going to go round to the left, which is, according to the road markings, straight on, and the right side there is a right signal. Then we're going to take the left here. And back down towards the test centre. So, as I say, this is a test route in Clacton. Just keeping an eye on my mirrors again. I'm looking at the car over there, it's got its lights on, making sure they're not moving off. Checking my mirrors, checking my mirrors. I'm checking them because I'm driving the car and I need to check the mirrors, not because someone's told me that I need to check the mirrors. Keeping an eye on this car. This Hyundai doesn't really want to move over very much. And then we're going to go left at the end, and that brings us back to the test centre. Check my mirrors again, signal on. And if this was your test, this would be your last junction, which you've already been through once, if you remember. And if it was your test, you'd pull into the test centre, but I'm just going to pull up on the left. And that would be the test over. So I'm going to give myself a pass. I'm going to give myself no faults there. Now, as I say, that is a test route in Clacton. I've talked you through it. It's really straightforward. The standard of your driving should be that doing a little drive like that is it's not a bother. It's not taxing. You know what you're doing, and you find it easy. if you're going to your test and you don't find it easy, if you're struggling with any of those things, you just need to practice more, and you need to understand what it is that you don't understand so that you can get on top of it and make sure that you're A, ready for the test, and B, ready to actually drive a car afterwards. Because as I say, that's the whole point of it. As soon as you pass, you can jump in a car by yourself and drive wherever you like. Now, if you're not ready to drive wherever you like and you don't feel comfortable driving, then really, why are you taking a driving test? You need to make sure that your standard is much higher than winging it through a driving test. So hopefully that helps. Any questions, you can comment below.